Today on Country Pocket, I have Aaron Burdett. His new album is Dream Rich, Dirt Poor, and the first track you heard off it is called Working Class. Back when all we could ask was to be working class. Aaron, what does working class mean now versus what it meant then?
Well, I kind of broaden out in songs, but they do come from something in my own life. I think in that song specifically, I think there's a little, almost like a little bridge section that sums up that song. That's the I wish someone told me the truth of the American dream. That concept that if we just work hard and that you're going to get ahead is not always, it's just not always true. It's not true for everyone, and that was just something I was thinking about when that was going on, when that song was being born, as they say. I do work. I have a day job as a contractor. We build homes, and so a lot of that gets reflected in the music of the last 5 or 6 years, I think, unintentionally. That's where a lot of those themes tend to come from, because either in my own experience or people that I work with, these are things I see going on.
So, you say you learn your craft from those who came before you, and you also say that those same people taught you how to trade your life for a wage. First up, is there some resentment there that they taught you this and that they didn't teach you anything different, anything more aspirational?
Well, that song, part of that song is from a story about my late father-in-law, and that he tells about when he was he passed away in, I think, 2012, and we worked together, doing carpentry work and stuff, and he used to tell this story about when he was 20 years old and working on going to work on a job site when he didn't really know what he was doing, and working with these real old timers then. And that gets me thinking, and learning some stuff from them, and I would learn some stuff from him. And so it just got me thinking a little bit about the leapfrogging of trade knowledge, that, I could absolutely be learning, or hearing some sort of trick that someone 100 years ago taught somebody else. I just thought that was kind of neat. The other, trade my life for a wage, that's a real negative way of looking at things, and it's not accurate to say that this or any of the songs are like directly related to me. At that point in time, 3 or 4 years ago, I was having some business and financial trouble, and I was resentful of the fact that I really work hard. I really work hard and diligently on both my music career and my day job career, and through a couple, I'll just say, through a couple situations that coincidentally happened at about the same time and went really poorly, my business and financial life was in shambles for, I don't know, a year or two, and so there was some resentment there, and these other themes you'll hear through that album of the people that really get wealthy from nothing in this country and system do seem to be the people that make their money off of other people's time and wages and effort. Which, it doesn't seem fair. I'm just not sure that if you're a working class, I don't even know what the heck that means anymore. That's debatable as well. But I don't think working an hourly wage, you're ever going to get much past working an hourly wage. And that may be enough where you live, but increasingly, particularly here where I live, it's not enough. Cost of living is rising, housing costs are going through the roof. People that live here and work here and have grown up here their whole lives are not able to afford a home in this area, which is frustrating. So yeah, there's a little bit of resentment there.
In the song, you talk about feeding dragons who are hoarding golden bones. I don't know if I've ever heard it put so, put in a way that's both spot on and ties it all back to the way it's been forever.
Yeah, man, if somebody is amassing hundreds of billions of dollars, that's a problem. There's no need for that. That's some dystopian, weird future stuff right there. That's not right. If someone is earning tens of thousands of dollars more, thousands and thousands of times more than the people that are making the engine of their business run, that's not right. It's just not. In my opinion, that's the way I feel about it. I feel like there's a widening gap here. The
data backs that up. The data backs it up that the gap is widening, and so do those rockets from billionaires.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly. That's who comes to mind. And so here's just a little thing about me is I really like tech. I really like the podcasts I listen to are like tech podcasts. They sort of feel like news without having to be plugged into the news. And I've watched since the original sort of internet boom in the late 90s, and then subsequent crash, and the Amazon in particular, they started as what seemed like a reasonable situation, and then started amassing, started selling more stuff, which again makes sense. But man, it's gotten out of hand, and I buy stuff from Amazon. I'm not a holier than thou person about this. It's super convenient. You can't beat it for convenience. But man,
so it's not sponsored by Amazon.
No. These are my opinions. And that's just one example. I'm not picking on them specifically, but it's a perfect example, man. There's no reason that the head of a company should be making so much more than the people that are on the ground.
All right. Next up, we're going to have you pick a song from another artist to play on the air here. And I always do a little theme for everyone. And your theme, because you talked about learning your craft from those who came before, is someone who came before you who you learned a little bit of your craft from.
Well, yeah, this song comes up a lot when people ask me about my origins, and it's a song called by John Hyatt called "Dust Down a Country Road." And if you want me to talk a little bit about it now, or
sure,
after play it, or what? Well,
go for it.
Well, it's funny. I think growing up, I kind of enjoyed John Hyatt because my dad did, and he played some of it. And then when I was in, I think my early 20s, I was working at this performing arts camp in Colorado, as a maintenance man, and they had lots of dance and theater and all kinds of artistic pursuits. But one of the perks was you could take a class, and one of the classes offered out there was a creative writing class. And so I took this class and asked if I could focus on songwriting. And he said, yeah, absolutely. Bring in a few songs you like and let's look at them and break them down. And this is one of the ones I brought in, and I just enjoyed it, and I didn't know. I'd never really dissected a song before in the way we did that day. But that song it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about how songs are constructed. It taught me a lot about the things you like and why. And it also taught me that even a song I've listened to 100 times can have a way deeper meaning and message if you look at it a little more closely. And I think a lot of the things in that song are things I aspire to in my own writing. It's telling a story. It's relatable imagery. There's some imagery and lines in it that I don't think anybody could understand if somebody didn't tell you exactly what it came from. There's some really stark imagery and sort of a minor twist in the third verse, and all this is based on a song that could be described, the content of which could be described as the old classic of "She's Gone and I Feel Bad." But he builds it into this moment, this story, that ends up in the dog at the end. The biggest thing I learned from that is, wow, the guy feels bad because his partner is gone, and the dog just keeps waiting for her to come back. And the last verse is, if I had a bullet, I'd put it in this gun. I'd catch that old dog napping, I'd shoot him before he runs. He ain't much good for nothing, just keeps staring at her dust. Wonder what he's thinking about sneaking up on us. And it just stabs me to the heart every time I hear it, because he just puts all his pain in that dog. All the story, everything about that relationship. It's deep. It's deep.
It's a great song. Let's hear a little John Hyatt, and we'll be right back.